It's time for another Game of the Month. With Game of the Month, owners of Evercade VS, VSR, EXP, EXPR and Alpha devices, plus Nexus later in the year, are able to download a new independently developed game for free every month between April and December. You can enjoy the game as much as you like while it remains available. Early next year, all this year's Game of the Month titles will be compiled together into an Evercade cartridge, along with some bonus extras. That'll be Indie Heroes Collection 5. Game of the Month for June 2026 is Gherbert Groundhog in Save the Date by Rick Lum, aka PuttyCAD, and Jeff Murray, aka Psychic Parrot. It was originally released in 2022 for a popular 8-bit home computer system and was built using Jonathan Caldwell's multi-platform arcade game designer software, which aspiring retro game developers can download for free from itch.io. Gherbert Groundhog in Save the Date casts you in the role of the eponymous groundhog, who is staring down an absolute disaster. He has a date with his sweetheart scheduled for this evening at 8 PM, but his nasty neighbours have broken in and stolen all of his belongings. It's up to you and Gherbert to save the date by tracking down the 18 missing objects and returning them to Gherbert's den, all before the clock strikes 8 in the evening. Gherbert Groundhog in Save the Date is an arcade adventure style platformer. This is a type of game that was particularly popular on its original host platform back in its heyday, with famous examples including titles like Jet Set Willy, Dynamite Dan and the Monty Mole series. In this kind of game, you're presented with a large open world to explore and a long-term objective to accomplish, but exactly how you go about achieving that goal is largely up to you. You can set out from Gherbert's den in any direction at the beginning of the game. Just remember that when you find an object, you need to get back to Gherbert's den to return it before you can go hunting for any others. Guide Gherbert with the directional pad and jump with the A button. Some platforms can be walked or jumped through, while others are solid. In areas with limited headroom, Gherbert might not be able to jump as high or as far as usual. If you misjudge a jump, you can control Gherbert in mid-air and correct his course. If you happen to see any other objects on your way, make a mental note of where they are so you can come back and retrieve them later. Remember, the clock is always ticking. The top of the screen displays several pieces of information. Firstly, there's your score, which reflects how well you're doing. Then there's the clock, which starts at 7:15 AM. You must complete your quest by the time it reaches 8 PM. After that is a progress indicator, which shows how many of the 18 objects you've successfully returned to Gherbert's den. This will be replaced with a message telling you to return to Gherbert's den when you're carrying an object. On the far right is a number indicating how many lives Gherbert has left. You begin with 6 lives and lose 1 anytime Gherbert is caught by a baddie or a trap. Beneath all these indicators, you'll see the name of the room you're currently in. Some of the room names may provide helpful clues, others are just bad puns. You can also use the room names to help orient yourself or to label a map if you're sketching one as you play. Pay attention to the way the rooms connect to one another. Remember that sometimes you may need to leave a room by one exit and re-enter it from another to reach some areas and objects. The widest part of the map is at ground level, where you can go several screens in either direction from Gherbert's den. From Gherbert's house, you can go up into the trees above via his bedroom or down into the sewers via his toilet. There's also another route down into the sewers that you'll need to seek out to find one of the objects. Gherbert can drop into water safely, but be aware that nasty creatures often lurk beneath the surface. Make sure you have some clear space to jump over them if they're coming your way. With patience, skill and a good sense of direction, you'll track down the missing 18 objects before long. But can you do it in time for Gherbert's romantic dinner for 2? Only one way to find out. Get ready to save the date. To get started with the Game of the Month program, just update your Evercade EXP, EXPR, VS, VSR or Alpha to the latest firmware version via the System menu. Then navigate to the EXP, VS or Star logo on Evercade Alpha on the left side of the main menu and access it from there. Please note that save states made while playing the Game of the Month version of Gherbert Groundhog in Save the Date will not carry across to the cartridge version, and vice versa. Check out the full patch notes for this update on the support page for your device on the Evercade website.